What's up, guys? We're going to come at you and talk about a diet today. So basically, we just want to outline that there's pretty much two ways to do it, and then there's a third way, which we'll get to at the end, guys. So I'm going to talk about my experience with one. Andrew's going to talk about his experience with the other. But just to try to kind of lay out the general framework and make sure we see this here. Basically, 3 columns, right? One column is going to be like kind of a philosophy-based. Philosophy, yes. One is going to be framework-based, and then we'll leave the other one there. So philosophy is going to be stuff like maybe Atkins, or being a vegan, or paleo, that kind of stuff. And framework is going to be more kind of like a macro-based, or it might be like Jenny Craig, or it might be, what's one of the other ones that you can do? I feel like I'm missing one. Any sort of points-based diet stuff. Okay?
Oh, zone?
Oh, zone. There you go. That's exactly it. Okay? You want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So I am currently eating in the second column, the framework column. So I've done this both ways. I've done this both in order to lose weight and then in order to gain weight. And both of them are equally effective because basically what it does is turn your diet into math. Okay, so the advantages of this is that basically you have a macro profile or some sort of points profile, or we'll just talk about macros for now, that talks about your fat, protein, and carbohydrate intake, which correlates to how many calories you eat. You fit within that framework and you can eat whatever you want, typically. Okay, so for instance, I was able to maintain lean body mass at about 12% body fat, about 172 pounds, eating hamburger and beer within my diet. That's not exclusively what I ate, but that's what I was able to consume and still maintain lean body mass because it basically turned my diet into math. On the flip side, I am now on a mass building program, so I've bumped my calories up significantly, and I am now working within that framework and trying to hit my macros every day. The disadvantages of that is that it becomes very tedious to try and get to an exact place and not go over, not go under, and basically dial that in. That's pretty much the primary disadvantage I can think of.
So philosophy, something like Atkins, vegan, paleo, I would maybe throw in there. I always like to think of eating to perform, so making sure I'm eating enough so I can perform how I want to, whether it's in the gym or just doing fun activities or whatever it may be. So basically, eating kind of as much of what you, as much as you want to, of certain amounts of foods or certain kinds of foods.
Yeah.
So basically, vegan obviously would be no animal-based products. Paleo would be cutting out sugar and all the carbohydrate intake. And then when it comes to kind of the philosophy of eating to perform, basically eating so I can get in the gym and perform the way I want to, which is probably going to be along the lines of something like a paleo-ish diet with probably more carbohydrate intake with brown rice and oatmeal and stuff like that. Yeah, did you want to say that?
Well, I mean, so let's talk about what the primary differences between these things. So in my case, I am eating a precise amount of everything is on the table. I can eat whatever I want, but it has to be in precise configurations, right? So it's like a budget. If I eat a big greasy hamburger, I used up all my fat, so later in the day I can't eat fats or as much of it. Whereas Andrew, you're more abiding by, I'm eating, I mean, you could probably list on
until I'm nice and full.
Yeah.
Of foods that fall within let's say paleo guideline. So I'll eat lots of meats and lots of nuts and lots of seeds and vegetables. Make sure I'm nice and full and ready to go in the gym and perform.
But you're not eating cookies.
Not eating cookies.
You're not eating cereal.
Not eating cereal, packaged goods, candy bars, stuff like that. But I'm not counting anything either. I basically eat foods that fall within kind of paleo-ish guidelines with some added carbohydrates and make sure I feel good.
Yeah, okay, so those are the two primary distinctions. So as always, we're here for questions just in case you have any. And then what's the third type? Is nothing. Okay, so obviously this is the worst because if you're not doing anything, what are the odds that you're going to actually be successful? You need to do something dietary-wise. You don't need to be on a diet per se, but you need to be guiding your nutrition in some manner or another. Otherwise, you're just going to be, one half of the equation is totally missing, right? So you got to do something. So let us know if you have questions, and we'll answer them. Yep. By the way, we're going to start a new thing where we're doing these live on Periscope as well, so we're going to be available for Q&A afterwards for a brief amount of time, just in case you have to be doing stuff on Periscope. So follow us there, across the Walnut Creek, and we'll answer your questions live. Anything else?
No.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.